Hello and welcome back to Marriage Culture TV, where marriage and culture intersect. We're your hosts, Queen Athleen, and
This is Nikio.
so we are back today with episode 10.
Yes.
10.
Woo.
Yes, 10 weeks of goodness. In today's episode, we are talking about the in-law, outlaw relationship. I know, we kind of, have a spin on words, in-law, outlaw.
Yeah.
So before I go any further and we start chit-chatting, if this is your first time to our channel, we ask that you watch our video, check out our videos, and subscribe.
Yes.
Please
Hit that like button, guys.
Subscribe. If you've been watching us for some time now and have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, like, comment below. We really appreciate the comment, and it has really helped us, so thank you. So in today's episode of In-Law, Outlaw, we're going to do something a little bit different today because we put up on our Facebook group, and if you're not following us, please look us up. We are Marriage Culture TV on Facebook, at Marriage Culture TV on Instagram, and Marriage TV on Twitter. But in our Facebook group, we put up a post that says, the in-law dynamic varies across cultures. In your culture, what constitutes a good in-law versus a bad in-law? Well, since we're titling this In-Law Outlaw, that was Nikki's idea, I believe. She's going to define what an outlaw is. Nikki,
Yes,
what's an outlaw?
I do have my dictionary here.
Yay.
And it says that, an outlaw is a person who has broken the law, especially one who remains at large or is a fugitive. Broken the law. And in our context and what we're using it for, we're talking about that the law of marriage between two people. Something has happened why you would not be called an in-law, but an outlaw.
Yes.
Okay. And we got some good comments on it. Go ahead, Athleen.
Yes, we did. We got some really good comments. And so what we're going to do is we're going to basically read the feedback that people gave us, what constitutes a good in-law versus an outlaw. And most people focus more so on the good in-law. They don't want to touch on the outlaw part, but that's okay.
That's
pretty much.
Nikki
said something earlier. She was just like, an outlaw is just the opposite of an in-law, a good in-law, right? So she said. So anyway, we're gonna go and we'll trade off here into what constitutes a good in-law versus outlaw. So one of our group members says a good in-law basically is one that are welcoming and accepting of who you are. And we are all human beings and we all want to be accepted. We all want to be loved. We don't feel like we have to change and be like a transformer to be accepted. We want to be accepted for who we are in our own uniqueness and our God-given personalities. Yes, as time go by, we evolve and we become our better selves. But as we present, everybody would like to be accepted for who they are. And I want to touch a little bit on a scripture in John 6:37. And this was Jesus talking about those that the Father has given him. He said, whomever the Father has given me will come to me and I will never reject them. There's nothing worse than feeling rejected, not accepted. Sometimes when we're growing up in schools, we're bullied and stuff like that. So as an adult, a married adult getting into a marriage, the worst thing you can ever have is to be rejected. So point number one, a good in-law is one who's accepting and of who you are and welcoming. Nikki?
Okay, and another one of our viewers said that a good in-law is respectful of the couple and does not discriminate in treating one of the party in a marriage better than the other due to blood relations. And then they put down a little bit further, a bad in-law, aka outlaw, is a thorn in the flesh. Very evil. Very evil. So,
very evil? They said very evil?
That's what the person said. So if you really want to see who made these comments, just go to our Facebook page and it is right there. You'll see the names, definitely. So I just wanted to touch on the part that says, you not to discriminate. Like Athleen said, it's the worst thing ever to be in a relationship and you can't be your true you. You will never get the best out of anything if it's not able to be, or if that person is not able to be who they were truly created to be, walking in their own blueprint. So why would you want to discriminate against someone just because maybe they don't have your name or anything like that? We're talking about marriage. We're talking about two people from two different cultures. And the Bible tells us that we should always love the other person just as much as how we would love ourselves. So no discrimination. And I just wanted to touch a little bit. I lost my little note, and it says better than the other due to blood relations, and a bad in-law is a thorn in the flesh. Who wants to be a thorn in the flesh? Every single time someone thinks of you or mentions your name, they think of a thorn, something that hurts, something that makes them bleed, something that terrifies them. Who wants to be considered that? Never that. So no discrimination. Treat the other person, treat your in-law, whether it's the male or the female, treat that person just as how you would treat the other person. That's what the Bible tells us to do. And that's what we expect from our in-laws. Kathleen?
Yay. And the other commenter said, a good in-law is one who knows that once their son or daughter is married, they know to let go and not interfere in how the married couple runs their home. You know, in the Bible, it talks about leaving and cleaving. In Genesis 2:23-24, when God created the animals, and Adam was like, where's mine? So God put him to sleep and created Eve outside of Adam's rib. And Adam was like, now this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. And in verse 24, it says that the two shall become one flesh. But then the Bible says, therefore shall a man leave his mother and his father and be joined with his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Now, when you're entering into the home of this one flesh, whether it's your brother's home or your daughter's or son's home, you're an in-law. To be a good in-law, you should respect whatever boundaries they have set in your home, and just not interfere. If they ask you or invite you into something, as a good in-law, you can give an advice based on love, but with the idea of you are a team cheerleader for this couple.
Right.
Not I'm a cheerleader for my brother or my son or my daughter or sister or father or mother, vice versa. You're a cheerleader for that couple because you want to see them win. You want to see them together. Don't be an advocate for separation or divorce. Don't interfere unless they invite you. Don't go in criticizing the wife, how she does things, or the husband, how he treats his wife, because when you leave, that's their home. That's their own little culture within the larger culture, and just respect that. Nikki?
Absolutely. I love that. The respect is always a big thing, having respect for each other and also for that marriage. And another one of our viewers said, a good in-law is considerate and well-mannered in the home of the married couple that they are visiting.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad in-law seeks to be disruptive. Sorry about that. And causes trouble in the home. So the good in-law is considerate. The bad in-law is disruptive. And I mean, we could go into stories after stories after stories. We've heard stories, we've seen stories where, the in-law comes in and, just brings that negative energy in the home, and the comments are dropped and things are said. We don't do it this way, and why are you doing it this way? And we don't cook it this way. Why are you cooking it this way? We don't clean this way. Why are you cleaning this way? We don't get up this early. Why are you getting up this early? This
Or
is
late, or this late.
or this late. Why are you getting up this late? We turn this to this side, or we walk on this side. This is what we do in our culture. This is what we do. This is the way it should be done. All these things can disrupt a loving home. And like Kathleen just said, you're coming into someone's home, in their space, in their environment, in their little culture that they've created, because they've left everything and they've, began to cleave with each other. And now you're just disrupting everything, and that's not what we're looking for when we're talking about in-laws, whether you're the mother-in-law or the father-in-law, sister or brother, niece or nephew, uncle or aunt. Be a good in-law. Okay, Kathleen?
Otherwise, you'll be a bad out. What did the bad part of it? Okay, you said the disruptive part. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Respect, the home and just not come in and trying to create another culture for that couple.
Yes.
Do it
Yes.
this way or that way.
Right.
I like that you said we sleep this late or this early.
Because everybody's so totally different,
Yeah.
everybody's pattern and how they create their home to make it work for them is totally different. The way Athlete makes her home is going to be totally different from how I make my home. So just because it's different, it doesn't mean that I have to go into hers and be like, why are you doing it that way? It's just totally wrong. You should not, respect that other person's home and don't be disruptive. Be a good in-law, not an outlaw. Athlete.
And I love that. And the final commenter said, a good in-law will treat you the way he or she wants to be treated. In Matthew 7:12, and I'll just summarize, it basically says, do unto, actually the New Living Translation, and I'll read it out. It says, do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. Whatever you would like them to do to you. So treat people the way you want to be treated. If you like to be disrespected, and then go ahead and disrespect somebody. But I don't know anybody that likes to be disrespected. Like
Absolutely.
Nikki and I are good friends, and today we had a little bump in the road, and
A
she
big
felt
one.
disrespected. I know,
Yeah.
right? If I was in her state, she probably would have knocked me out.
Yes.
But in my mind, I didn't even know, that was it. And she called me and she was just like, Kathleen, why did you do this? This is how I felt. And my intentions were never to offend. But the fact was, I offended her. And for that, I was just like, you know what? I'm sincerely sorry. So don't go treating people the way you would want to be treated. If you want to be treated with respect, if you want to be treated with courtesy and love and regard, then treat your in-law that way. And so that's what I had, and I'll hand it over to Nikki if you wanted to chit chat anymore.
No, like you rightfully said, and I like that we're ending on that note. Be considerate, treat others the way you want to be treated. And that's one of the things that a whole marriage is about. Especially even if you're from different cultures, you just want to treat that person how you want to be treated. You treat your husband the way you want to be treated, and you treat your wife the way that you would also like to be treated. And if you're an in-law, that goes the same for you too. Like we always say, whatever you sow,
You shall reap.
will reap. And before we end, we know it's what, September? We've been going through a lot, and this just crossed my mind. I just wanted, us to just check on each other a little bit more. COVID-19 is still going on. We're getting ready for that flu season and that cold season, and we have COVID right there. Make sure you're checking on each other, checking on your neighbors, checking on your family members.
Check on your in-laws.
Checking on your in-laws.
Be a good in-law.
Be a good in-law. Forgive when you were treated really badly or wrongly, and still checking on them, and just, show some love. In this time and season, we have heard of so many people, just passing away for one reason or the other. It doesn't matter age anymore. It doesn't matter, your status in society. Death is death. So if you're around and you have people around you, pick up that phone, make a phone call, send a text, reach out to someone today. And like Kathleen rightfully said, if you haven't subscribed, I have no idea why you haven't. I just don't want you to come here listening. I want you to be notified when we go on, and know that we're here and we have something for you. And, we'll be waiting for your comments just to see what, you would like to tell us about your experiences with your in-laws or outlaws and how it was,
Yeah.
Kathleen, anything else?
I just wanted to say real quickly, without taking us back, that, I have siblings, and so all my siblings are married. And so that means I have a lot of in-laws. And because I love my siblings, their spouses is just an extension of them. So I extend that love. And I think if you look at it that way, that, wow, this is an extension of my brother, my sister, my son, my daughter, the in-law relationship will be sealed and there will be no such thing as an outlaw. So let's all endeavor to be loving, cheerful in-laws.
Yes, we will. And on that note, we're going to say take care, goodbye. See you again on Marriage Culture TV.
Bye.
Bye.